We're back, and it's time for our final best of three. 2 players remain. Only one can move on.
That is correct, Tasteless. And it's not the 2 you would expect. Dark went out in last place here tonight. He did not have a strong night whatsoever. He lost 0-4. He didn't win a game.
Yeah.
This guy could have won the GSL perhaps this season, but nope, it was not meant to be. Last place.
Unbelievable. Innovation is our only survivor tonight so far. Classic in very good form. I don't think this is going to be easy for soO. We'll have to see what soO does against a player like Classic. How is he going to mix it up? Will he do more super aggro builds? I feel like Classic's timing attacks have been so clean up to now. I'm not sure if soO has the strategic longevity if we go into a really long, drawn-out macro game.
Okay,
I don't know.
Okay. I like soO's ZVP overall quite a bit, and look at what he vetoed. Proxima Station and Newkirk Precinct. Those are the 2 maps that Classic won against Dark. So he's just saying, screw this, especially Proxima. Not too surprised to see that choice being made here. So I don't know what we're going to end up seeing, but having Echo as map 2 is kind of interesting as well, because that is a great map to go air toss if you want to go air toss on a map.
Oh man, in this best of 3, it's going to be tough. I don't even know really who to root for. You know, both these guys are so good. soO is somebody
you got
that's
to
always
ask your
exciting.
hard tastes. You got to look really deep.
I'm split right down the middle. I mean, Classic and soO, these guys are both phenomenal players. soO always manages to get deep, never win. I don't know, maybe he'll do it this time around here.
Who knows?
But Classic's PVZ is looking very scary. Let's now go into game number 1, our last best of 3 tonight in the GSL Codex. In the bottom right, in the blue, he is
Classic.
in the bottom left, in the red,
soO.
Oh.
What? You sounded like you just woke up. Oh,
I'm like stretching.
yeah.
I'm like the cat that keeps on like doing their paws on the blanket, you know what I mean?
Okay, so they're both sharing the bottom here. Classic has already revealed to us that he's got fantastic timing attacks. On some of these maps, he doesn't play the way a lot of people would expect.
Yeah, he came super prepared for this matchup, there's no question.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. There are 2 great Zergs in this group. So he should have more than just the strats we've seen. Then again, a lot of his strats came down to execution. Oh, players from Mexico.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, the Mexican players I know are all Zerg players. Well. So, Tasteless, what do you think? Who actually takes it? You're going to say Classic. I can read your mind.
I am leaning a little bit towards
Free will
Classic
doesn't exist.
here.
You're going to say Classic, and that's that.
But I actually would be more excited if soO moved on.
Yeah.
Because I think as a narrative, it's just cooler. This guy that's...
And we have 2 Terrans and a Protoss already. So do we really need 2 Protosses and 2 Terrans?
We don't need them. We don't need them. It's a bad way to go down, but yeah.
Well, wouldn't mind having soO go up, of course. Biel is already out. Dark is already out. And those are like the 2 other best Zergs in the world. So eventually we're not going to have any of the best Zergs in the world. And then like even if one gets the round of 8, it's probably dead. It's a dead bug, man. That's it.
Exterminated.
Especially, well, the only bug that's like going to make it really deep if he doesn't do this is Laku Garage.
We're going to have some fun when we cast his games.
Yes, indeed.
I cannot wait. So we got the Stargate coming up here. Although that has not been spotted yet by soO.
Oh, he didn't see that?
Yeah, he did not see that.
Wow.
And it looks like he's like debating poking over there. I think he might be waiting to see what comes out of the gateway and if he can get over there. And I believe he's... What?
You got to be kidding me, soO.
This is crazy. What's funny is it's just right over there.
Yeah, it's so close. The thing is, he sees the timing of these gateways, and that lines up with the Stargate okay.
Well, the Stargate's not the most important thing to scout because it's pretty standard, but it
those gates could mean a lot of things now that I think about it. Like,
well, the other thing too is that wait, hold on. What about now? I'm not sure if Classic knows how late this was spotted either, because that Overlord was coming over there.
Yeah.
And while he's doing all these other different multitasking requirements in order to keep the momentum going, he might have just seen the Overlord over there and just assumed.
Yeah. Well, regardless, he's seen it quickly enough that he shouldn't really be taking any damage, any significant damage at least, from the Oracle. 2-3 kills maximum. Second Oracle actually on the way, so that's a little bit interesting.
And we saw 2 Oracles and a Void Ray before. So maybe we'll have something like that. These spots are somewhat similar to the game that we saw it used on earlier.
Yeah.
So here we go. Oracle comes up and begins gunning down some of these drones. Looks like he doesn't get that ideal 3.
Yeah. That's pretty normal, though. A couple drone kills and get out of there with a very bruised up Oracle. The spores are all on the way. A few Adepts coming in as well. It was a little bit of a messy shade. Looks like pretty much the same build so far as that game on Newkirk Precinct that we saw.
Look at this. He's going to put some pressure up here on the front. Let's see if the Void Ray actually heads along here to meet with this. He's coming up. Looks like he's going to go for this one Queen here. A nice targeting there with the Oracle. And the Queen goes down. Second Queen taking some damage. And still on the run. Looks like the Oracle gets the last shot off. Moving over here to where the drones are.
Super good micro so far with these Oracles, pulling back the very injured one, dealing a ton of damage to the Queen so far, really helping out these Adepts, and look at that drone count just go down.
My God, Classic really smashing his opponent's economy here. 10 drone kills, now shading over to this location south of here with these Adepts, not moving. Okay, there we go. And he's backed out. He really hasn't suffered any losses, Artosis.
No, this is really solid. He's been cleaning up some Overlords during all of this time, continuing up his tech tree. He's taking his 3rd base just now. And with double Oracle out, plus just a few Adepts warping in, it's not like soO can really do that much against this. Yeah, look at that. He's got plenty of units. There's like no counter damage that can be done, but a Spire being added now by soO.
The Lings could try to attack that Nexus, but there's a Mothership Core and 3 Adepts there, so he does back off. You can really see Classic has a very deep understanding of how to go in there and do some damage to Zergs early on. Both Dark and soO having a very difficult time in the early mid-game against any pressure coming here from Classic.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Like, he's done a good job so far of just picking off anything that he possibly can. It's not like game-ending damage, but it's significant.
What am I seeing here?
He's like,
all right, he gets the extractor.
Air units to get that. Okay, no, I guess he gets.
He's flying away, and he sees one more drone become an extractor. He's like, damn.
Oh, that's a good counter.
That's a good counter to when you lose your extractor.
Now he'll only have gas for 8 mutas, and that won't be enough. Like, listen, Rain Man.
That was really weird. You don't normally see anybody like in a big rush to go. I don't think out of any of the games we've ever casted, somebody's like, get the extractor.
Well, it was the one building near the Void Ray, I guess.
It was there.
I tell you,
the Void Ray took some damage, though. I mean, it might be maybe even more important to have a little bit more HP. I don't know.
Well, I
guess we've seen everything now. But let's also, guys, be a little bit mindful of that, along with the 2 Vikings that landed earlier to fight the 2 Adepts. That was a really special moment.
It was a special moment. Wow, I love you pointing these things out.
Each game is just a little bit of a beautiful, unique snowflake. And you know what that's also like? Like you, viewer, you're special.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
You mean they aren't just numbers in the Twitch chat?
No.
Oh, wow.
Some of them are, but most of them are not.
Okay, this push is coming in, but mutas are popping out.
And by the way, the stasis ward.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was going to say the stasis ward back here in case
anybody's interested. The stasis lord.
The stasis lord. Well, he is the stasis lord right now, Classic, with his stasis wards. He gets the warp prism.
Okay, that's pretty big, but there's enough anti-air here that he can kind of deal with this.
Well, hold on. Oh, never mind. He's not going to target that hallucinated Archon, but yeah, I guess there's actually enough sentries that it doesn't matter. What?
Yeah.
That happened.
He is bidly bopping some nerds today. Classic is just crushing these Zergs.
am really, really surprised. And it all goes back to taking out that one extractor.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Well, he only made 7 Mutt-Mutts. He needed 8 there, clearly.
That's right. And when you only have those 7 Mutt-Mutts, I guess 6 or 7 sentries with a Guardian Shield, and when Void Ray wins that fight, now we know.
2 hallucinated Archons for that extra hallucinated splash
Some
damage.
of those glaives just connect with that hallucination, man.
Yeah.
You know?
He's like, oh no, an Archon! I just let these die.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little bit weird. How does he switch it up to win?
Well, I'm almost weirded out by how good Classic is with these pushes. It seems like he understands the timing so well. None of the Zergs are really ready for it.
He's super sharp.
Although it looks pretty basic, the fact that it's beating people like soO and Dark means it must be very, very advanced. There must be a lot of subtle things that he's either looking for.
Every Zerg watching just rolled their eyes at you, but I would generally agree with you on this. This is like some cool pushes that we haven't really seen as much, like mass Sentry Adept pushes with like sometimes a couple of Mortals in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's some interesting stuff that he's busting out here, and soO definitely did not. He tried to deal with it a little bit differently than we saw before, but like even just sniping those queens early on, it got him so far behind. You know, he had no chance really against that push.
It's time for game number 2. soO with a 1-0 lead. Excuse me, Classic with a 1-0 lead right now over soO. Can soO turn this around? We're going to find out in game number 2 of this best of 3. GSL Codes.
Classic.
In the bottom right, in the red.
soO.
A lot of audience support here for soO. I guess how can you not be cheering for this guy?
Oh, he's got such personality. Really like that guy.
He's got the personality. He's got a very interesting story. Overall, you know, somebody who's been to so many finals but hasn't been able to kiss that first place trophy.
Yeah. And if he did, that was a sneaky, gross thing that he did. Kissing Zest trophy or Nose trophy or, you know.
Okay, He actually does cancel the pylon there.
Yeah, he's just trying to slow this down a little bit. Very annoying for soO, but
another pylon comes down here. Yep. And that stops the drone from planting, obviously, so the drone might have to make a hatchery somewhere else. Meanwhile, Classic is expanding quite comfortably over here. Looks like the drone even went back for a second. Oh!
Just barely off there, but
Tasus almost bit his tongue off at that moment. It was so intense. I might have had to become the Sir Ilian Pain caster.
Can we just take a moment to look at how beautiful that was? Did you see how he got the drone there to make the hatchery?
It was really nice. You know what?
Let's be mindful.
Sometimes
of this.
people think it's really exciting when the hatchery stopped. But you know what? It's also really exciting when the hatchery gets there in time.
When it gets there right before the probe.
Yeah.
And the Protoss is like, oh, darn.
Yeah.
That's an important moment, too.
But you know, it's okay, because the Zerg, you know, we just don't want to see him lose.
No.
There's going to be other opportunities down the road.
I mean, these guys are all winners. They play StarCraft 2 for a living. What else can you ask for?
That's right. And you guys are winners, too, at home, because you're watching this, having a good time. You know what you like, doing what you want to do, and being who you want to be.
Now let's put a little Overlord over here, a little happy Overlord. He's going to scout up and see if he can see the tech a little bit faster than the game before.
He can't attack. He's just an Overlord moving around the map, just trying to see what's going on, because that's what he does. Well, we got a RoboBait coming down here, and I'm wondering from here, is he going to make some more gateways? Will he do anything like that Immortal push that we saw that he used against Dark?
He's going for that Immortal Stalker Adept drop. That was a killer one before.
That was beastly.
Well,
that was his RPG comp. He's like, 1 Immortal, 1 Stalker, and 1 Adept. Travel the world of StarCraft in hope to get a 4th member of the party, a Templar.
Little do they know the whole time the Warp Prism was there with them.
That's right. That's their airship.
Yeah. Okay, it is an Immortal on the way, so this could be that same type of push coming out again. Of course, he took a very fast 3rd with it previously. I think this time he might drop 2 Adepts with the Immortal. That would be a little bit better, I think. It's like, but wait a minute. Here's the thing about the Immortal Adept Stalker drop. Okay, the Immortal kills roaches, the Adept kills lings, and the Stalker kills overlords.
But let's
this
not
is
forget
the Swiss Army knife drop.
That's right. And let's not forget about the RPG potential secret character that only emerges in some fights, the Zealot. They're only to attack until it dies and everything else picks up.
Yeah.
Truly the shadow of that RPG comp for Protoss.
That's true. Would you like to wait and get the Zealot? Like, nah, just leave. It's fine. I don't need it. It's only 100 minerals. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay, Roach Warren, near completion. We do have that Warp Prism coming up here, too.
And a couple sentries on the way. No third base as of yet. Will he be taking that third? Because when he did do this build, or something very similar to this build on Proxima Station, let's not forget that he went for 3 bases and just kind of did the lightest harass ever and then followed up with a massive push.
See that Overlord run from those sentries?
Yeah.
soO is damaged goods after that last game. He's like, sentries, those things beat mutas. Get me out of here.
Oh, this Overlord's screwed. It's like, no, it's 2 sentries. They're tickling it. The Overlord slightly likes this. Okay, Ling kind of denying this, but he has a decent amount of gates. He is pushing out right now. Mothership Core coming over to help put down that third base.
Guys, if you're just now joining us, every push Classic does smashes the Zergs. So far that have been in this group, soO needs to stop whatever's coming at him. He needs to hold it with minimum damage being taken.
Yeah, here he goes again. He's actually loading that up, sending the sentries home and leaving the Adepts for harassment. He's like playing so many little mind games here where it's like, what is really happening? You don't know.
Oh my god, he let him finish. Okay, well, I guess it's not the end of the world because he can get some drones over there. Well, it looks like Classic not quite multitasking that well.
Look at that. He's countering the roaches with the Immortal as predicted.
He needs to be careful to micro that Immortal in and out of that Warp Prism because you can't have that take too much damage.
Yeah.
Now he's got Zealots that are over here hitting these other the other workers. Excuse me. He picks up the Immortal, drops it back over here, and now escapes. Queen lives.
Barely not get that Queen.
Yeah.
I think he may have misclicked on that Immortal in that last dropout. But look, he got 3 drones. He got a few roaches and lings killed as well. He's setting up his third behind it. And the thing is, it's not like soO has like all this great stuff ready to counter him, right? Like there's Immortals out and he has Roach Tech. You gonna go attack with roaches? Is that what you're gonna do? Not really. Oh!
By the way, the harass is back.
Yeah.
Immortal coming down here, firing at a few drones, picks up, only losing some more of the shields. And this is keeping Zerg pinned here. If Zerg leaves the base, the Immortal comes back in. Damage is being dealt at a faster rate, a bigger interruption there for the Zerg that essentially keeps the Protoss safe back at home. However, Classic is now going to push out again, or at least apply some pressure.
Yeah, he has his Prism up there, and a couple of Immortals in that many sentries is going to do a pretty darn good job against what soO has, which is just basically roaches right now.
Okay, we have the 2 Immortals here, the sentries. Oh, he's not going to warp in here just yet. He has a few Adepts here, and he can unload the rest. I think he's actually going to push. I think he's going to commit.
Yeah, I think he's going to push towards the third and drop the natural. It looks like that's what he wants to do.
I thought he was going to drop the Adepts up, but you are right, Artosis. He's going to come in right over here to be able to hit these drones. That's going to force some of these units to come back here and try to defend. And meanwhile, that may trigger the push up here at the top.
Like,
no,
excuse me.
run.
I'm out of here.
This is smart. What he's doing, guys, is he's forcing a lot more attacking units out here. He's making the Zerg very uncomfortable about the idea of making drones.
Yeah, look at the actual drone count right now. The probe count is right up there with it. There has not been a 4th base attempt to be taken. He's just about to take it now. It's a little bit late. You know, he's getting his Baneling speed, though, trying to get an actual composition together. And Classic is going for Blink. Now, Blink in this matchup is kind of funny. If you hit like a really sharp attack after some good harassment, definitely you can win with that Blink attack. But I feel like Blink Stalkers, like, they don't have great muscle. Like, if you lose your one attack with them, I don't feel like this is like the greatest choice in that type of situation. You know what I mean?
Agree. He does force Zerg to be continually uncomfortable moving out on the map. The Warp Prisms, it's not just the 4 Adepts, it's the mass warping that can come on after that. However, soO is itching to do some kind of a push here, and it looks like that moment may be now. Overseer coming in here to survey the main, maybe even draw a few Stalkers back here.
More gates being added. He got that second forge here once again, really preferring to get these ground upgrades really quite heavily.
By the way, 5 Immortals in this army. Now, there's a lot of Banelings being made here. I don't believe that there's anything for Protoss that has vision over onto that high ground, so Protoss may try to commit here.
Yeah.
And in this case, a lot of Banelings coming down. It's really going to come down to how the force fields are, but of course the Ravagers can break the force fields with the Corrosive Bile as well.
Yeah, it's going to be quite
Here
a
we
dance.
go.
Immediately throwing down the Biles for those force fields. More coming up, but some of these connecting there with the Stalkers, with the Sentries, and soO continues to push forward here, but that's a lot of Immortals.
Immortals really in premium location there, doing so much damage from the 2 corners of the Zerg attack. The next wave does come in. I don't know if there's any more force fields left to be thrown down.
Yeah, that's a lot of Banelings here. Once again, the Immortal shields are gone, and a lot of these Banelings actually connecting up there, even taking out a pylon for the time being. So many Corrosive Biles coming down as well. A nice dodge there by Classic as he pulls back.
It looks like Classic is held in that location. Zerg unable to go now to the 3rd base. He will have to retreat. By the way, no drones mining at the 4th base for Zerg, which is actually quite important.
Yeah. Now, I actually like soO's position in a certain way here. Like, Classic held on and still has a good technical army, but he lost basically every sentry, and he doesn't have Archons, which makes Ling Bane very, very strong against this set of units. So, having this many Lings and Banes out in the front, he's just going to go again.
Okay, he's coming in once more. Stalkers over here at the bottom left. A good wall in the upper right.
Wow.
It's not really easy for Zerg to hit in any location. And with the Banelings, I mean, they're great if they can connect. But
yeah, no, this control by Classic is amazing on both sides. You can't get all that in the same screen, so he has to go back and forth between them, micro and back, making sure these Banes aren't getting those connections.
He's going to super commit over here, hoping the Banelings can get good trade-offs on some of these Stalkers. And it looks like they may. In fact, an overwhelming amount of Banelings coming in here, obliterating so many probes, as well as the Stalkers. The Protoss army comes down from the north, but it doesn't look like they're in a good enough position. The Nexus goes down. And in fact, with some of the reinforcements, he's doing a lot of damage over here to this Protoss army. The Immortal count's been thinned out. Even if Protoss eventually fends off this attack without a functional 3rd base, it's disastrous.
Yeah. The Lings just coming right in afterwards. It doesn't matter he doesn't have any more Roaches or Ravagers. He's on 4 bases against 2 right now.
Yeah.
And this is not the unit set that you really want against Ling Bane type comps.
Now, he is, I believe, just barely, okay, he just got those drones over there not long ago.
Yeah.
For a little while, those were not mining from that 4th base.
That's right. His economy is not fantastic. It's certainly better than what we see over on the Protoss side. But really, I'm just looking at this unit composition. It's tough for Classic. He has good upgrades, though, we do have to say. He has 2-1. He had the double forges going. But how do you rebuild an army of the right sophistication to take out just like a massive Zerg force here? We don't see any sort of splash damage. We don't see any Archons. Well, he's just trying to utilize like this old set of units.
Yeah, and if Protoss doesn't have a 3rd base at this part of the game, it's really hard to utilize, you know, all the tech that you have, right? You're still just making Immortals, Adepts, and Stalkers.
Yeah. And this isn't Heart of the Swarm, you know, after Swarm Hosts were nerfed. This was a great comp then, but does it work right now against this type?
Well, it also allows soO to get a 5th base for free.
Yeah, that's very true. All right, trying to do some harass. Gets a few drones, but the Prism's getting pretty low, so he has to be super careful about that. What do you think about that, Tasteless?
The feels are real, man.
Ooh.
Zerg's grouped up enough. I think actually soO is just going to come in here and smash him. Ready? Cue it. 3, 2, 1. Look at the supply. Oh, Artosis, you weren't there for the Todd impersonation.
No, I wasn't.
The supply right now, guys, 102 to 158. Zerg with an overwhelming amount of units. Force fields are obsolete when this many Ravagers are on the map.
Yeah, he's just about out of energy.
He'll eventually run out of them with this many Ravagers on the map. All right, here we go. Are there any more?
Nope, that is just about
because there are this many Ravagers on the map, and he's now going to overrun him, and I think that should be game, bringing us into Game 3 with this many Ravagers on the map. GG! Whoa, epic!
soO taking down Classic in that game. That was some good play right there, and kind of shows that, like, the Sentry is still a very good unit. It
That's
definitely
right.
still has a place, but it's not the be-all, end-all against Zerg layer tech like it used to be. Once upon a time, he would have held on for 1,000 years.
In a land far, far away called Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah. Not here, not so. The Ravager's definitely doing a great job. And putting him on the clock there. Also,
soO, the turtleneck mogul, may be able to move on to the round of 8, but Classic, he's definitely going to use what happened in game number 2 and try to optimize his build here in game number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be our last game of the night. 2 players left, only one can move on.
Oh man, this is crazy. Cactus Valley going to be our final map.
Things could get pretty thorny. In the upper left, in the blue.
Classic.
In the upper right, in the red, he is
soO.
You know, it's crazy.
What?
I know a lot of you guys watch. I don't know if our audience is mic'd up or how audible it is, but I don't believe we had a single cheer here for Classic.
Really?
I didn't hear one. Maybe I'm crazy.
Definitely there's more fans for soO.
Yeah, big roar here in the audience for soO.
Yeah. And, I mean, also just in general, like, people I think want to see a Zerg get through right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The whole swarm is down here in the studio, guys.
The entire swarm.
The creep has already expanded to where the elevator is to get in.
That's good. And they
When
get that
these,
speed bonus.
when these spectators got to go to the bathroom, denied!
Ooh. That is so
Denied.
annoying because they already put the pylon at the natural.
Denial isn't just a river in Egypt. It's also your third base.
That was an Amazoning joke.
What? Artosis, the door's over there. I'll finish up the rest of this cast.
I don't get any speed upgrade on creep, though.
That's right. Because you're a Protoss player.
Thanks. Wow, we're
I really added to that.
We're fizzling out right
Yeah,
now.
we're
man. It's
this
just about
is it.
done.
If
Too
you,
many
if you
jokes
saw our
today.
fuel thing right now, we've been running on empty for a while. We're not even pushing the gas pedal when we're going downhill. Okay, so the pylon does go down.
We're taking turns pushing the car right now.
Yep.
And our dad is so angry.
That's right.
Dad and Mom keep fighting.
We're going to push the caster car right up to the gas station and pay with quarters to get a little bit more gas in there.
Someone brought a tube. We could siphon some gas here. Siphon some jokes off of somebody else. All right, so Cactus Valley. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what soO wants to go for, if he wants to take initiative with something aggressive. But force fields are pretty good on this map. Like, there's a lot of little chokes that you can take. I think it's, like, pretty hard to kill Protoss here. It is a gigantic map, though.
That might not play as much of a factor on this map just because they are both sharing the north.
Yeah.
But let's see. I mean, Zerg may very well on this map continue to expand towards the south, which gets harder and harder for Protoss without harass to ever destroy those bases.
Yeah.
It's tough for Protoss to actually push anywhere towards the bottom right.
Yeah, like...
And so a lot of Protoss try to push actually up into the main and destroy all the tech and basically force a Zerg on a tech reset and then push the bottom right.
Well, the way Classic's been playing, he'll probably bring the game to a head much before we get into one of these crazy macro games where soO starts taking the whole bottom of the map, you know? Like, he's definitely been putting on quite a bit of harassment and whatnot. Actually going up to 2 gateways plus Oracle. Kind of interesting. See if he goes for that double Oracle Void Ray once again.
Yeah, I'm really looking for that. You know, it could be that again, Artosis, because we have the similar spawns. You know, it seems like whenever Classic shares either top or bottom of the map, and anywhere where there's a beeline for air units to go towards the Zerg main,
yeah,
he seems to like that build, and there it is, a Void Ray.
Okay. But he's only gone for 2 gates this time, right? So we shouldn't really see as heavy harassment coming out of Classic here, right? Because he was going like 3-gate Adept with double Oracle to mow down queens and, you know, kill off as many lings and drones as he can. I wonder, because he's taking the double gas, but with only 2 gates, he could be going into an air toss. You could not blame someone for air tossing on this map.
He might. We've been talking about that. We haven't really seen it yet, but we don't know. I mean,
yeah, it's not as popular here as it is in the foreign scene, I think. Like, you hear a lot of the foreign pros like complain about air toss, but out here, if you try to go directly into air toss, it just turns into speed bane Hydra all-ins against it, and it's like almost a coin flip if fast carriers will work. But it looks like that's not going to be what we have. He's actually adding a Robo and a Twilight after a 3rd base with the double Oracle, and the Void Ray is completely safe until something like Hydra's comes out. So...
yeah, the Void Ray is handy in cleaning up these Overlords.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
Overlords have no defense against a Void Ray.
And it might play into screwing up the Zerg's tempo. You know, in a game like this, you're constantly coming over there and, you know, having to remake those. But will he come in there with that Void Ray and do the forbidden extractor timing attack that we saw?
The forbidden?
Yes. The dark art of extractor timing attacks.
Yeah. That's. I hope so. I hope that's exactly
when we know we're using black magic here. Like,
oh, here he comes.
Here we go. Watch out for your extractors. Oh, it's okay. He's just going to go for the Spore. He's coming in now, doing a lot of damage. The extractor tanking, but the transfuses do manage to save that Spore, driving that air attack out.
See, he's ready for these cheeky plays here with the Void Ray. I'm surprised he didn't just go for the extractor.
He should have gone for the extractor like that one game.
Yeah.
Then he's going to have even less mutas later on.
Hydralisk Den on the way. Roach speed as well. Uh-oh. Getting a little bit low there on some of this Oracle health.
Yeah, but they're still alive. They're still moving. Whoa, you're crazy.
How is that one still green? No health bars. I'm like watching this. I'm like, aren't they both being hit here? Like, they're flying over spores and queens, and meanwhile the Void Ray just taking all the punches. He's like the stunt double for these Oracles right now, man.
The Oracles are connected with that avatar tail.
Yeah.
They actually could transfer HP to each other. It's crazy.
In all their crash scenes, the Void Ray just jumps in just because he is a flying unit and he's kind of blue. It doesn't really look the same.
We got to push, but is this a pressure build? I'm not really sure. You know, Classic has many times come out and then withdrawn or just gone into a harass. Remember, guys, whenever you're doing this, the Zerg is forced into making attacking units instead of more and more drones. And then if you leave, I mean, what good has that really done you? Uh-oh. The map is booby-trapped.
Ooh, I like that he's brought this up, and he's got some Hydras as well, so I don't think that this is actually going to kill him. Like, this seems like a pretty solid unit composition actually coming out.
Okay, can I point something out? What he does here is he gets in a big fight. He lets the Zerg begin to push back, probably when his army's beginning to get thinned out, and then he lets that stasis ward go off. And then he could try to warp in and possibly seesaw the fight back in his favor, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We see a lot of people try to put that out in front, but if you notice, Zerg, if they don't see it then, and they're watching this fight the whole time, they're never going to see it.
Yeah.
I think this is a really smart play.
Now, this is it's definitely very well thought out what Classic's trying to do here, but I think that it's been defended extremely well by soO. He's got the right arc of units. He brought up that Spore, which is helping immensely, and Classic has pretty much turned around. He's doing some light harass, not able to get too much done, but this is a different unit comp, right? He used this type of play a lot so far today, and it was very good splitting against Banelings and getting the right force fields off against some Roaches and stuff. But now we have like a Roach Ravager Hydra type composition.
Yeah, it's definitely a different unit comp than what we saw before. Yeah. It is also in some ways abusable to some of these force fields. But you know, sometimes when you get in a fight, if the force fields aren't set up right, the Hydras are just doing damage anyways.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is something to definitely watch out for. And really, when you get in a bad spot against Hydras, you don't even have seconds to respond.
They're machine guns.
They just gun everything down. So here's the initial force fields.
Ooh, those are some really good overcharges and really good force fields as well. This attack may not end up working that well.
Oh, that's weird. There's Ravagers coming up here.
Yeah, he's actually, he hits a lot of those corrosive biles, but I would not say that this was a very good attack overall.
That attack was actually horrible. He should have waited for the Ravagers to get up there with that if he was sending them anyways, because already the force fields were good.
Yeah, he had the right type of units that it would be hard for him to die, but that attack was definitely turned out efficient for Classic. He's going into a Lurker Den, though. And this army, the one thing this thing will really die to is Lurkers. Adepts and Sentries against Lurkers is not a pretty sight.
No.
A lot of things get warped back to ire when that happens.
Okay, Protoss is pushing down here to the bottom right. The Warp Prism, I'm sorry, he has 2 Warp Prisms, right? There's one here.
There's one.
Was there one with the main army? Because I'm trying to figure out if he's going to do an all-out push or if he's going to send one Warp Prism somewhere.
I think that's it.
Warp in. Okay, so it is just one Warp Prism. He's going to commit here.
Yeah, setting up those stasis wards again. Really cool play.
A large number of sentries here is going to come in very handy. Note already, setting up isolation zones.
Oh, he gets the extractor. All right, has an Archon mix in here as well. A big arc of units coming out of soO. No Lurkers quite yet here. He has to hold on to this if he wants to get to that higher tech and have a possibility of winning. But these Immortals doing a ton of damage so far.
The push continues onward. It appears as though there might be enough roaches on the right here. However, these Immortals are not that bruised, still doing damage. The sentries over here at the top cannot hang on for that much longer. And now it is just Immortals. soO continuing to close in. One Immortal does go down.
Wow, soO breaks the back of this army. The Warp Prism going to have to get out of here with the remaining Immortals. And now soO is sitting here. He only lost 10, 11 drones so far. He has that Lurker Den as well. And in fact, 4 bases against 3, so very solid hold.
So the Immortal count has been reset, which is huge when Zerg's doing this unit comp in this matchup, because losing all those Immortals makes Roach Ravager absolutely terrifying. It's not like he has any Storm or anything. Oh
my God.
Look at this Oracle. He's like, party's over.
The 11-minute Oracle. Party's over. Oh my God.
Look at this. Well, that was a nice play. That kept Zerg back there.
The party's back on.
I love these epic statements one unit could say when it starts to kill stuff.
So corny.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a hidden base. That's
the ghost of XDS Kiwi comes back for a second. Make a nexus where they will never look on the map.
Where would be the easiest place to kill? Right here? Okay, let's make a nexus there.
The map is big and it's StarCraft 2, and they will probably not go down there. You know, to be honest, that might win him the game.
It is a definite possibility.
Oh my God. And just like that, the Ghost of XGS Kiwi was no longer ranked 1 on WGTour.com.
All right. Gonna have to cancel that off.
And finally, hidden expansions were once again out of the meta.
As quickly as they return.
Yes.
Okay, he's coming up with this little push, but he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to be losing this. He has those Lurkers, pulls back to it. That was a... Okay, he had the Revelation, only reveals one of the Lurkers.
He's continuing to push up. Actually, I got to say, a very impressive Immortal count up here. Yeah. But if the Nexus goes down, it might not matter, the Immortal count, as Zerg could probably retreat, regroup, and attack in here again. Is he going to get that Nexus?
Oh, he probably will, I would imagine. Like, with these
How much HP does that thing have? Come on, man. That thing's been taking so much damage.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, my God. I think soO might be able to do it, guys.
He's
pushing up.
Still a lot of Immortals left over here. He's trying to hold on. That Nexus, though, is going to be falling.
This Nexus is somehow not done yet. And it goes down.
27 probes with it. Charge is about to finish on a Protoss with no economy, so that's not
In case you guys cared, fun fact, Charge is done on Zealots.
Yeah.
Well, I think this game is done.
Yeah.
All right, let's try one more time. Our toast is 3, 2, 1. Look at the supply. In Todd's voice. 112 to 167.
Well, he's still got a lot of Immortals. He's trying to make something happen here. Those Hydras dealing a ton of damage from the high ground. A Lurker coming up and burrowing as well.
He does get that hatchery. Immortal presence still pretty prominent. Some more Adepts are being warped in.
He's got to make it happen right here, right now. The Immortals pushing up this ramp, taking down that Lurker.
So many Sioux fans right now on the edge of their seat as this death ball of Immortals is continuing to push forward.
Look at that, jumping forward with that Prism as well, getting the few extra shots off. He's being as efficient as he possibly can. All army hockey being used right now. 3 observers with his army.
He's going for it. There's a chance Soo could crumble. He has to stop this onslaught of Immortals, the Adepts, the Archon, just continuing to press forward. What Soo needs to do is buy time and pick his fights wisely.
He needs to kill him right now. The one Zergling sets off that ward, so it's not going to be helpful. Soo pushing forward, a shade on top of everything. Only 3 Immortals left over here, and this is going to be it, Tasteless. Soo going to advance to the round of 8.
Wow, 49 supply to 129.
Look at the supply.
Look at the supply.
10 army right now. Oh man, a new 4th base down at the bottom. That's a perfect accent.
Yeah,
I don't know if the viewers knew, but you were born in France, and you really showed it there.
I did it. GG! Soo has done it. Classic looking unstoppable in PBZ, but Soo, he made the adjustments. He played a solid game. The fans in the studio are cheering.
They're going crazy for him
and that is why the turtleneck mogul Soo has been in a GSL Codes Finals 4 times. We might have to get ready for a 5th.
Classic though, an actual champion defeated here tonight after showing fantastic games. You can see he's really kind of broken up about it. Taking down Dark and going 1-2 against Innovation, then losing 1-2 against Soo. That's a tough pill to swallow right there. It's one of those horse pills, Tasteless.
It's not easy. Don't chew it up. Doesn't taste good.
Now we're going to go to an interview with Soo in just a moment. Our first Zerg to advance to the round of 8 for this war.
Artosis, say something. The interview's not ready yet. Shut up, Artosis. Do the interview.
To the interview. That's it.
어인수 선수 이야기 나눠보겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
The first Zerg who's made it to the round of 8. He says thank you.
정말 엄청난 응원이네요. 먼저 소감부터 들어볼게요.
일단
Let's hear what you want to say.
첫 경기를 너무 무기력하게 져가지고 이제 안 되나 보다 싶었는데
네.
My first game I lost without
형이랑 할 거라고 예상했는데
네.
without playing like I planned at all.
그게 좀 잘 풀려서 최종전도 잘 풀린 것 같아요.
네, 정말 동족전 안정적이더라고요. 그리고 확실히 뜨거운 응원이 나왔던 건 최종전이었던
When I play ZVZ, I have a lot of confidence, so I played quite well against Stark.
운명도 걸려 있었는데, 자 김도우 선수와의 최종전 일단 한번 소감부터 드릴게요. 어떠셨어요?
일단
It's not just your fate on your hands, but Zerg's fate as well.
But what is this, Soul Calibur?
뿌듯하고
네.
토스를 아마 저그보다는
I'm very proud of, as a Zerg that made it to the round of 8.
좀더 응원해준 것 같은데
네.
일단 감사드리고
네.
There's not many Zergs surviving.
더 높이 올라가도록 하겠습니다.
네, 최종전도 처음부터 쉽게 풀어간 건 아니거든요. 워낙
I'll do my best to make as deep a run as I possibly can. He goes against TY, by the way.
날카로워졌던 타이밍이어서 굉장히 어떻게 풀어가야 될까 고민이 많았던 것 같은데 빠르게 판단을 잘하신 것 같아요.
You're not really like Dark, but your playstyle is quite sharp. You're really a decisive Zerg.
준비한 것 같아가지고
네.
이제 두 번째 판부터는 드론을 찍지 말고 병력을 위주로 찍자라고 생각한 게 잘
I kind of noticed what Classic's plan was.
도우 형을 상당히 이제 전체적으로
He keeps on going for attacking.
네.
방향이었는데
He must be the first to attack.
너무 잘하는 거예요. 그래서 좀 놀랐는데 이제 오늘은 떨어졌지만 앞으로 더 높이 올라갈 것 같아요.
네,
You know, he keeps harassing really well, even though I'm trying to defend as best I possibly can.
정말 판단을 하시는 점에 있어서 소름이 돋았던 게 상대의 몰래 멀티를 확인하는 걸 보고 정말 깜짝
On the third
놀랐어요.
map,
어떻게 그렇게 확인할
Your
생각을
decision making
하시는지.
was quite spectacular indeed.
팀에 있을 때 항상
네.
이 감독님이나 코치님이 항상 하시던 말씀이
was an
있었는데 저는
SKT.
그때는
네,
싫었거든요, 솔직히.
네,
The head coach and coaches always said.
항상
네.
말을 해왔는데
네.
그때 어쩔 수 없이 했던 습관들이 지금의
They always told me what to do in the games, and I didn't
김도우
like that.
선수의 평상시에 이 성향과는 별개의 문제인가요?
도우 형이 좀 분리할
But I
때
think that
선수를
they were
노리는
correct.
플레이도 좀 자주 하기
And
때문에
it helped me to just like play good games overall.
자, 앞서 이야기를 더 해볼게요. 이신영
And
선수와의
Classic
경기는
has kind
정말
of a weak
아쉬운
mentality.
것 같아요. 이신영 선수
And that affected him in these
계속해서
games as
이렇게
well.
약한 척을 하시지만 정말 확실히 강한 상대거든요. 테란전 역시 아직 어려우시죠?
일단 제가 이번에
Let's talk about innovation.
네.
He's a strong opponent. Everyone admits that.
IM부터 준비를 했거든요.
네.
한 2주 정도를.
네.
근데 항상 집에서도 안 나가고 테란전만
I
했거든요.
prepared for IM.
로 테란전만 했는데도 이게 안 되는 걸 보고
Against innovation?
진짜 이거는 진짜 내가 갈 길이 아니다.
네.
All I played was Terran matches.
네.
여러 길을
But I
알아보고
couldn't win anyways. It
중이었는데
didn't matter.
아이고, 네.
일단은 테란을 만났으니까
네.
또 해봐야죠. 뭐 될 때까지.
계속 해봐야죠.
네.
네, 그래서 이제 다음 상대 또 테란.
My next opponent is
전태양
Terran as well,
선수예요.
and I know my
전태양
play against
선수가
Terran right now is not good
2위
enough.
진출을 간절히 응원하고 계셨고 이신영
But wait and see
선수가
what'll happen when
어이스
we play.
선수의 2위 진출 다들 이렇게 어이스 선수를 찾아요. 전태양 선수를 만나게 됐는데 느낌은요?
태양이 인터뷰를 라이브로 봤는데
네.
저를 너무 무시하더라고요.
Everyone's expecting
그래서
that you will make it to the
제가
next round.
태양이한테 예전에는 많이 이겼지만
네.
최근에는 좀
as a single player.
네.
이제 좀 복수할 때가 온 것 같아요.
And I know that
제가,
TY doesn't have enough to expect from
태양
me.
이긴 경기 중에
네.
만수르 경기라고 있어요.
네.
그 해철이 한 20 몇 개 지은
If I meet TY, I'm going to get
어,
revenge on
네.
him.
그거 한번 보고 오면 될 것 같아요.
아, 그렇군요. 네, 저희도 기대를 하고 있겠습니다. 자, 그러면 오늘 또 오늘
in the past when I crushed TY.
이름을 계속해서 열심히 불러주실 팬분들이 있잖아요.
He didn't even get to do anything in the games.
각오와 함께 한마디
I think I'll
부탁드릴게요.
watch those games.
제가 예전에
That'll boost my confidence.
했을 때 허영무 선수랑
I beat you when you were a noob at StarCraft 2. I'm going to rewatch that. Yeah, I can do it
연호하는
again.
그런 소리가 굉장히 많이 들렸는데
네.
이제 그때는 굉장히 슬펐는데 지금 제가 그런
They're talking about when they were playing Brood War.
굉장히 뿌듯하고 다음 8강에서도 또 들을 수 있도록 열심히 하겠습니다.
네, 지금 수장님이시잖아요. 다시 한번 8강 진출 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
네, 이렇게 BSL 2위 진출자
Okay, well,
어윤수 선수와
whatever you said,
이야기 나눠봤습니다.
congratulations
자,
and
이렇게
thank you
해서
at the end there.
저그가 한 명 살아 올라가게
And,
됐죠.
yeah.
오늘 경기 최종 정리
Sue
확인해
is alive. Oh, we're on camera. Sue is doing well. He's kicking ass. That's really exciting. I know a lot of people probably a little bit sad that Dark was eliminated, but you know what? Don't be. This was a really hard group.
Yeah, this was a group of death. And for the best Zerg in the world to just fall out 0-4, I mean, it's surprising, but it shouldn't be too surprising with the class of players that he was up against.
Yeah, and you know, Sue, never count him out. I think sometimes, even you and I, when we look at the rest of the players who will be in, you know, let's say round of 8, we say, oh, well, you know, obviously, you know, innovation no matter what, but you really never should count Sue out. He's very scary. Won't be easy for him against TY,
Yeah,
but he's somebody who does not quit. He does not give up.
He's got some time to practice for us, so we'll see if he can get something done.
So we have one half of the bracket set up, and look at this amazing lineup. These 4 players, TY, Sue, Stats, Innovation. Oh, hell yes.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, any finals that you can imagine out of that is already amazing. And then we only have half the bracket done.
Yeah.
So even if the other half is all jobbers, you know, if we just take in all the guys that didn't even make it into Codes, put them over there, we're still going to have a great finals.
Yeah. Well, this has been an absolutely fantastic Saturday. We hope you guys in the NA region really enjoyed a cast that was at least in a time zone that was workable for you. And for our guys that are over in Europe, we will be back on Wednesday, of course.
That's right, with Group C. Hero, Trap, Lenok, and Ryung. See if another Zerg can make it through. Of course, Hero kind of creating this group. I think he did the best job of drafting a group out of everyone in that selection phase, and he's definitely one of the best players in the world right now.
Keep your eyes out for Ryung, by the way. He's always been around. He's playing better than ever before. Lenok, I'd say he's in great form. I don't think it's going to be easy for him. And Trap is, of course, a solid Protoss all around.
And then, of course, 1 week from today, La Cucaracha makes his return. And 3 Terrans in his group, Keen and Bunny and Maru. That is, you know, the reverse order of their skill, I would say. Maru definitely a big favorite in this group. But SOS only has to practice 1 matchup, so it'll be very interesting to see how he plays against
That's
Terran.
very true. Guys, What a great day.
Yes.
Congratulations to our 2 survivors. Artosis, great as always casting with you. And guys, thank you for joining us. We love you. We will be back on Wednesday at 6 p.m. KST for day 3 of the round of 16. So have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are.
I'm covered in the dirt on your mind.